Oh, I can I can have long breath. Anyway, hello everyone. Welcome back to Weekly Korean Live class. My name is Keijin. 안녕하세요, 케이진입니다. And 안녕하세요, 침침입니다. Yay! Hello. I see the comments already. We have 코아티, 크리스, 에시 the Great, 프락티샤, and Meet, Savsil, and Kishore, and Nana, 나눕, hi. And we have a cat. 고양이가 있어요. God and Pearl saying meow. Nikki, Veronique, awesome. 안녕하세요. And as Chris mentioned, yes, today we're going to study Korean grammar. So this will be 30 minutes Korean grammar lesson. Yay! Grammar lessons are best! That's why in 2023, 내년, next year, my goal is to have more grammar lessons for you. Yay, party. Okay, so before starting our lesson, I know always there are new viewers. So here's a 공지사항 announcement. 공지사항. We have 고양이, cat. Shh. meow. Yes. 자, if you click the link in the description, you will see this Hangul worksheet. Hangul is the Korean alphabet. In my lesson, I try to use many Hangul as I can because Hangul is what you should know and it's not difficult to learn. That's why we are giving away free Hangul worksheets. So please check out the link in the description to get this Hangul worksheet. Yes. Okay. 니킬, 감사합니다. Okay, so why don't we start today's lesson? I'm sharing the slide. Oops. I don't want to show this one yet. Let me go back to the first one. Yes, you saw nothing, right? You saw nothing. Yes, you know nothing about it yet. Today's grammar is 릴, 을까요? 릴, 을까요? Yes, it means shall we? And by the way, this I put you in the bracket, right? It's because you don't have to put you. So when I talk with my family members, younger siblings, or my close friends, or someone who is much younger than me, I don't put you at the end because you makes the sentence polite, but when I speak casually, I don't need to put you. That's why I put it bracket. But when I talk with my parents or even my relatives who are older than me, or definitely my teachers, my colleagues, my boss, my neighbors, I always put you. So it's up to you. Do you want to put you or not? Up to you. But anyway, let's talk about it. By the way, this is me. this is me. This is me, and as you can see here, this is Chim. Okay, so let's go. Oh, this is the Hangul worksheet that I mentioned, by the way. 짠. The link is in the description. I hope you will like it. Okay, so let's start. And 릴까요 or 을까요? Basically, it means like, shall we? Actually, it has many meanings. But we will focus on shall we, the one meaning today. Because, well, if you teach many meanings at the same time, for beginners, it can be confusing. So let's focus on the most basic meaning, which is shall we? Or if the subject is I, it can be shall I or should I? But very often the subject is we. That's why the meaning is shall we when the subject is omitted. But anyway. 짠! Here you are. The translation is shall we. Again, it can be shall I, but very often it's more common to use shall we. And this is a sentence ending used to ask for the listener's opinion. Listener's opinion. Do you have note? Do you have notebook, by the way? By the way, notebook in Korean, the physical book, notebook. In Korean, that's note, and please write down this because this is a keyword for today. Listener's opinion. Or propose something like shall we do something, shall we go, shall we eat? So it can mean propose something. Or the main function is this: I want to hear about your opinion, please tell me. So shall we? So let's look at the conjugation. Formation is very simple. As you can see here, there are two conjugation. We have this 릴까요 and 을까요. And if you've been learning Korean with me, now you're kind of familiar with it, right? So, Chim should have a cartoon. I agree. Can anyone draw? I'm not good at drawing, so if anyone can draw, why don't you make a cartoon about Chim? And I'll be the extra. I'll be my role in the cartoon is Chim's best friend. 안녕하세요, Kailon and Muhammad and Rupa Singh on Facebook too. Okay, so let me show you the conjugation. 준. Here you are. How about this? Now I have this verb. This verb means to go. In Korean is 가다. 가 is a stem. Because as you can see here, you need to get verb stem. And what is a verb stem here? Is 가. Korean verb or adjective always end with 다. So 가다, for example, 가다. Remove 다 at the end and you have 가 here. 가 is a stem here. And 가. It ended in a vowel, right? 가, a sound. There's no 받침. So please use 릴까요? By the way, it can be shortened as 갈, right? 갈까요? It means shall we go? So shall we go? 갈까요? For example, I met Chim. And Chim is my colleague. And we are supposed to go to a restaurant together. And I use polite language to Chim. And we met. And I said, oh, shall we go now? Shall we go to the restaurant? 식당에 갈까요? Shall we go? 갈까요? So shall we? It's clear, right? And JD 안녕하세요. Hello. And Shursti 안녕하세요. 김타타 안녕하세요. And Milan, you've been learning Korean for 3 years, but I cannot come to Korea. I hope you will be able to come to Korea someday. Thank you for loving and learning the Korean language. 나비 안녕하세요. Cloudun, shall we go? Exactly. Philistus 안녕하세요. And Nikhil, very good. Kwati, good. 정미 안녕하세요. Okay. So we have Jessica and Bisal on Facebook too. Okay, so now you are okay with this 가다, right? Now I have this verb, my favorite verb, to eat in Korean. That's 먹다. And now you know what is a stem, right? Because I need to get the stem. It needs stem here. Let's get the stem. Stem is 먹 because always Korean verb ends with 다. So remove 다 from the dictionary form. 다. So 먹 is the stem here. 먹. Oh, it has 받침 at the end, which means it has consonant at the end, right? So, since it ended with consonant, now I need to use 을까요? verb stem ending in a consonant plus 을까요? 먹. It ended with consonant, so I'm using 을까요? Oh, Jessica, you're so kind. You're hugging. 갈롬, very good. It's 먹을까요? Very good. Emily, good job. I am almost. It's 먹을까요? It's not 가요. It's 먹을까요? I use 을까요 here because 먹 ended with consonant. Okay, Milan, thank you very much. And Trevong and 정미 practitioner, Suma and Nikhil, Ayan, Cloudun. Perfect, very good. You're good at this conjugation. So it means, shall we eat? So for example, I prepared 김치볶음밥. Because now I'm thinking about 김치볶음밥. Probably after this live, I'll make 김치볶음밥 and have lunch as 김치볶음밥. Do you know 김치볶음밥, by the way? I'm hungry. Kimchi, I'm sure you know what it is, right? This is kind of like Korean, spicy Korean pickle. It's lapa cabbage usually. And yes, this is Korean pickle. 볶음 is stir fried, and 밥 means rice. So you stir fry the rice with kimchi and other ingredient. If you want to put some ham or pork, it's up to you. But it's 김치볶음밥. I want to have 김치볶음밥. So I cooked it. 짠짜자자잔. So Chim and my parents gathered. So I said, shall we eat? 먹을까요? Oh, makes sense? All good? Meet subsil. That's good question. If I speak casually, you don't have to put you at the end. So for example, Chim and I are brother and sisters now. So Chim is younger than me. So I don't have to say 갈까요? Shall we go? But I say 갈까? Shall we go? And Chim again is younger now. So I say 먹을까? Oops. And as you see here, you always have to put question mark at the end. It's used as a question. Even in English too. You say shall we? And you need a question mark, right? 물음표 question mark. Okay. Are you okay with the conjugation? 니킬, 김치볶음밥을 먹을까요? 네, 먹어요. Have you noticed my answer? So, when someone used this question, how can you answer? Shall we 김치볶음밥? Then you can say, 네, 좋아요. 네, 좋아요 means yes, good, that's good. Or I like it, I like the idea. Or you don't have to put 네. If you say 좋아요 only, that means good, great, I agree. Oh, that's a good idea. 좋아요. Good idea. I like it. Or you can just say 네, yes, it's okay. Or you can also say, shall we eat? And you can say, let's eat. 먹어요. So you answer with 여 form. If you want to be polite, you put 요 at the end. But if not, you just make the sentence with this ending, 여 ending. So 먹어요 means okay, let's eat. It can be the present tense, or it can be like suggesting something, but here it uses let's eat. Or for example, I have allergy to kimchi. So I say 미안해요. I'm sorry. 미안해요. 못 먹어요. 못 means can't. And 먹어요 means eat. So I can't eat. Sorry, I can't eat. 미안해요. 못 먹어요. Sorry, I cannot eat. So when you use this 여, when you use this 까요, 을까요, this question, the answer will be the 아, 어, 여, 요 form, like this. 먹어요. Let's eat. Or you can just answer good. Great idea. 좋아요. Or just 네, yes. Or if you can't, you say sorry, 미안해요. Okay, good. Okay, so let's move on. 짠, things to remember. First, if the stem ends with a consonant deal, add 까요 only. Teacher, what does it mean? So for example, we have this one. 살다, 살다. It means to live. And what is the stem here? What is the stem here? Now it's 살, right? Ayan, that's a good question. 술 마실까요? Shall we drink alcohol? And 라이티티야, 만두 먹을까요? That's a good example, but it's 만두 if you meant dumplings. 살, by the way, 살다 means to live, and 살 is the stem here. It ended with 딜, right? Because 사. It consists of these three elements, and it ended with this 딜 sound. If the stem ends with consonant 딜, just like 살다, you put 살까요? 살까요? Shall we leave? Shall we leave? Cloud은 good job. Good job. 살까요? So, shall we leave? For example, I say 같이. 같이 means together. And shall we live together? 같이 살까요? 같이 살까요? So please remember, theoretically, 살 ended with consonant. So you feel like, it should be 살을까요, right, teacher? But actually, this is incorrect. This is wrong. This is wrong. Because when the stem ended with 딜, you should use 까요, 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 as in 살까요? Shall we live together? 같이 살까요? So this is something to remember. Number one, note number one. And while we are talking about number one, why don't we talk about irregular verbs too? Quick review. Quick review. Do you remember 디귿 irregulars? For example, I have this verb 걷다. 걷다. To walk. You walk to the station. You walk in the town. 걷다. 걷다. And how can I conjugate with this 을까요? How can I conjugate it with 걷다? Okay, teacher. Let me get the stem. Without 다, that's 걷 is the stem. 걷. Aha! It ended with 걷, consonant. There is a 받침 here, right? So I use 걷을까요? Right, teacher? Did you guess this way? But please remember, this is irregular. Oops. This is 디귿 irregular, so it doesn't work that way. It's not 걷을까요, but it becomes 걸을까요. So please remember, 디귿 irregulars, when you conjugate this 을까요 form with 디귿 irregulars, this 받침, 디귿 받침, they ended with 디귿, right? This 디귿 받침, change it to 딜. Please just remember, this is exception. This is irregular. As you can see here, this is irregular. This is an exception, so you have to memorize that. So two things to remember. First, if the stem ends with 딜, just put 까요, not 을까요. Second, if you know the 디귿 irregulars, which ends with 디귿, like this, 걷다, then you have to change the 받침 to 딜. 걸을까요? When I talk about this 디귿 irregular, some students ask me, aha, teacher, so if any verb stem that ends with 디귿 is the irregulars, right? For example, 닫다. This is irregular too, right? Some of the verbs are 디귿 irregulars and some of them are 디귿 regulars. So some of them are irregulars and some of them are irregular. So you have to know which one is irregular and which one is regular. So for example, 닫다 plus 을까요 would be 닫을까요 is not 닫을까요. So how can I know which one is irregulars and which one is regular? I did a full lesson about 디귿 irregulars in my previous video, so please check out and review that video. Actually, I know this is a lot of information, but I'm trying to give you many information today, so for intermediate learners can also review this one. And for beginners too, you should know that because 걷다 or 듣다 is another irregulars. 듣다. 노래를 듣다. You listen to music, right? 듣다. This is also irregular. But 닫다, you close a door. 닫다 means to close. It's regular. It follows a regular rule. Regular rule was this one, right? It follows a regular rule like this. So it's 닫을까요? Okay? How can you tell the difference, 정미? That's a good question. Unfortunately, this is something that you have to memorize it. This is why we call irregular. If there is a rule, we wouldn't call irregular. We will probably say another rule, but we say irregular, which is exception, because some irregulars, there is no rule. Why 걷다 is irregular and why 닫다 is regular? Nobody knows. It's just what Korean people say. And 바구, thank you. This is very insightful. Will be saved for later viewing. Yes, please watch it again, please, because it's very important. Okay, so let's look at the note number 2. The negative form is 지 말까요? So in case you want to say negative form, like shall we not go? Shall we not go? So first, shall we go? Do you remember how to say shall we go? That was 갈까요? 갈까요? Right? 가다 plus 을까요? But shall we not go? How can I say? 가지 말까요? It's just a quick review. If you haven't learned and if it's too difficult, don't worry. This is not the today's grammar point, but I just want to give you some extra information. 지 말까요? The conjugation of 지 말까요 is simple. You just get the stem and put 지 말까요. It doesn't matter if the stem ends with a vowel or consonant. It doesn't matter. Just put 지 말까요. So, for example, 먹지 말까요? Shall we not eat? 먹지 말까요? Shall we not eat? So if you want to say the negative form, use 지 말까요 with question mark at the end with the rising intonation. 먹지 말까요? And the conjugation is simple. Just get the stem plus 지 말까요? Emily is 가지 말까요? Okay, so note number 3. Note number 3. We don't conjugate this phrase with adjectives when using it for making suggestion. It's the same in English. When you use shall we, usually you use with a verb. Shall we dance? Shall we sing? Shall we eat? Shall we go? So usually you use with verb. But in Korean, if you use this grammar, 까요 grammar, same. First, use verb. But if you used with adjective, the meaning changes. when conjugate with the adjective, this phrase has the meaning of guessing. So for example, 날씨가 좋다. The weather is good. 날씨가 좋다. Weather is good. And it has 받침 at the end, right? The stem has 받침. So it ended with consonant. So I'm using 을까요? So it doesn't mean that shall the weather be good? Should the weather be good? It doesn't mean like that. It just means do you think the weather is good? So the meaning changes. Now it is like guessing. It's guessing. The reason why 까요 has this meaning with the adjective is basically 까요 is asking someone's opinion. What do you think? What do you think? Shall we go? What do you think? Shall we go? What do you think? Shall we eat? What do you think? Should the weather be good? No, the meaning doesn't work in adjective. So basically, the first meaning, as I mentioned, let's go back to the first page. The first meaning is you ask for listener's opinion. So usually it means shall we. But if it's used with adjective, it means changes. Like do you think? So meaning of guessing. Okay. Oh, Jihoon, you're late. But don't worry, we upload this video. We upload this video right after this live, so don't worry. And Ayan, I can't use 행복할까요? You can use, but the meaning is different. The meaning is now guessing. It's not like shall we be happy? It's not like that. The meaning is do you think, for example, we or they. There's no subject, so I don't know which one you are meaning to, but do you think they will be happy? Or do you think they are happy? They will be happy? So now the meaning is guessing. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think? So the meaning changes with adjective. And Winnie, that's a good question. Yes, the lesson note of this lesson is available for download. If you go to this link, koreanclass101.com/live, you can download this PDF. Not PDF. Not this PDF. Actually, we have longer version with more details, explanation, more examples. So you can download better version than this PDF. This PDF is shortened, summary. But you can get the detailed PDF for free, by the way. Okay, and Janice from France, bonjour, and Mohamed, 안녕하세요. Okay, now, Jan, let's practice. Let's practice. So, shall we try these three? If you know how to conjugate with these three, 말하다, 신다, 먹다 with 을까요? Please write the answer in the comment. Right now. In the meanwhile, let me explain the meaning of it. First, I intentionally chose the same verb from last week so you can get used to, you can memorize this. First, we have this verb, 말하다. And 말하다 means to speak. 말하다 meaning to speak. Hint, the verb stem is 말하 here. 말하. Second verb that you need to conjugate right now is 신다. 신다 means to put on. 신다. By the way, you put on clothes, you put on hat, you never use 신다. This put on is only used for your 발. 발. Do you know the meaning of 발, by the way? 발 means foot or feet. So when you put on shoes or socks, you use this verb. 신다. Okay, Emily, very good. Oh, Kylo, we got the answer. Excellent. And we already did this word, right? 먹다 meaning to eat, to eat. And hint, 먹 is a stem. 신다, 신 is a stem. Excellent. Now we got the answer. So let's 짠. Here's the answer. 말하다 meaning to speak. 말하 is a stem. So how can you conjugate with this? How can you conjugate it? 말하 ending with vowel. There's no 받침. So you're using this. 리을까요? not을까요? So this can be combined as in 할까요? 말할까요? 말할까요? For example, 한국어로 말할까요? What does that mean? Shall we speak in Korean? Shall we speak in Korean? 말할까요? means shall we speak? 한국어 means the Korean language. 로, 한국어로 means in Korean. So shall we speak in Korean? How about this? 정미, that's an excellent example. Let me use your example. But first, 신다 plus 리을까요? Which one should I use? 짠. Yes. First, the stem is 신 and it ended with consonant. It has 받침. So you use 신을까요? As in 양말을 신을까요? So now I'm not wearing socks, but I feel house is cold today. Shall we put on socks? 양말을 신을까요? 양말을 신을까요? And JD, that's a good question. 지 말까요? Is only used with a question format. 지 말까요? Shall we not? 지 말까요 is always in the question format. 지 말까요? Always in the question format. Same for 까요 or 을까요 too. Oops. Did you see this? Yes. 지 말까요? 먹지 말까요? Is always in the question format. Always, always. 항상, always. It can never be like this. No, it never works. You need a question mark. Same for 을까요 and 까요. You need question mark at the end. Always in the question format. Okay. Mark, very good. It should be 말할까요, by the way. 말할까요. It's not 말할까요. 말할까요. Next. 먹다. Oops. 먹다. Now you know it, right? 먹 is the stem. 먹. It has 받침 here. It ended with consonants. So I'm using 을까요. 을까요. So for example, 라면 먹을까요? 라면 in Korean is instant noodle. So I feel so cold and I don't want to cook today. But making ramen is so easy. Making instant noodle is so easy. So I feel lazy. So shall we just eat ramen today? Shall we just eat instant noodles? 라면 먹을까요? Then how can you answer? 네. Or you can also answer 좋아요. That's good. I like it. 미안해요. Sorry. 미안해요. I'm full. I can't eat. Okay, so 3 more verbs for you to practice. 울다, 공부하다, and 닫다. Can you conjugate this verb with 을까요 for your practice? Can this only be used with we? Or can it also mean shall? That's a good question. So, for those of you who know how to conjugate it, please try this. In the meanwhile, I'll be answering Emily. So, okay. So, for example, when there is no subject, the first meaning is shall we. Does it make sense? It's always shall we. It's the most common one. But in some context, it can be I. For example, 저 한국어로 말할까요? I might add I in the subject. In that case, it means like should I or shall I? The screen is not showing, right? Whoops. Shall I speak in Korean? 저 한국어로 말할까요? It looks like, so for example, I was speaking English with my Korean friends, and maybe my Korean friends are not very good at English and they seem so confused. So I'm suggesting, you said your English is not fluent, right? So is it better if I speak Korean? Shall I speak Korean? Should I speak Korean? 저 한국어로 말할까요? 저 means I, by the way. 저 한국어로 말할까요? Shall I speak Korean instead? 저. So it depends. If there is a no subject, then very often the subject is we. So shall we? But sometimes in some contexts, the subject can be I. So you have to read the context. I might add the subject as 저 or 나. By the way, 저 is humble, 나 is casual. But you can see this subject, 나, or 저 means I. So if you see this, it means changed. Shall I? Should I? And sometimes some people just omit it. 한국어로 말할까요? But still it means I. How can I know? You need to see the context. Korean people love omitting some part of the sentences simply because it's shorter. So what should you do? You need to read the context. And very often it's very easy to read the context. When I see my Korean learners, they are not really confused with this because the context is very clear usually. So you wouldn't be confused in normal cases. So don't worry. We got the answer already. Very good. And Mark, it was almost. You did very well, but this is an exception. So let's conjugate this, the first one. 울다 meaning to cry. 짠, 울다. Now let's conjugate 리을 을까. But do you remember note 1? This is kind of like exception. So 울다, 울 is the stem here, and 울 already include the 리을 sound. 울. So you don't need to add more 리을 sounds. Just is 울까요? 짠. This is note number 1. This is kind of exception, so please remember this. If the stem ends with 리을, please put 까요. It's not 울을까요? Number 2, the next one. 공부하다. Now let's conjugate it. 리을까요? The stem is 공부하. By the way, it means to study. 공부하. It ended with vowel. It doesn't have 받침. Okay, so now I'm just using 리을까요? As in 공부할까요? Shall we study? 좋아요. That's good. How about this? Ooh, you did a good job. 닫다. 닫 is the stem here. Oh, Mark, no problem. You did very good. 잘했어요. 닫 is the stem and it ended with consonant. It has 받침이 있어요. So you are using 닫을까요? Some of them still remember 닫, right? This is 디귿 irregulars? No. Some of the stem end with Yeah, let's quickly review. Some of the stem end with 디귿 are irregulars. In that case, they change the 디귿 at the end to 리을, as in 걸을까요? But this 닫다 is regular, so it follows the regular rules. So it's just 닫을까요? If you want to know more about 디귿 irregulars, please check out my previous video. You can find it, Korean Class 101, 디귿 irregulars on YouTube. Then you can find my videos. Okay, very good. Now we have last three verbs. Can you conjugate it with 을까요? Can you do that? JD, 저 한국어로 말할까요? Yes, please. 네, 좋아요. So let's try these three together. 쓰다 meaning to write, to write. Or it can also mean to use, to use. So it depends. It can mean to write, write. Or it can use, to use, you use something. 쓰다, 쓰 is the stem. Oh, 쓰 doesn't have 받침. It ended with 쓰, vowel sound. So I'm using 을까요? As in 쓸. By the way, then it can be combined like this. Shall I write? Shall we write? 쓸까요? How about this? 웃다. And Raji, hi ma'am, you are not so late because we upload this video, so nobody will be late. You can always watch it. And can you upload some Korean conversation or paragraph video to practice? Yes, our team is making lots of videos about the conversation and paragraphs, so please keep following our videos. Mark, 감사합니다. And Kylon, awesome, you got the answer. So, 웃다. 짠, 웃다. First, 웃 is the stem. 웃 ended with 받침, right? The consonant. 웃, it has 받침. So, 웃을까요? Shall we laugh? Ha, shall we laugh? Is it a future tense? It's not exactly. It's talking about future too, but it's more like you ask someone's opinion. You ask someone's opinion, or you... Let me actually share the first screen. Like this. You propose, you suggest something. So nothing happened yet. So sometimes it will sound like future tense, but future tense in Korean is more like 을 거예요. 을 거예요. This is a future tense in Korean, but this one is more like suggestion. But still, this suggestion or listening someone's opinion doesn't happen yet. So sometimes in translation, it's sometimes change it to will. Like will we? But actually, more accurately, this one is not future tense. This one is more like, yeah, as you can see here, 짠. It's more like you're asking someone's opinion or propose, suggest something. Okay, we are going back. Okay, so last one. 청소하다 plus this. 청소하 ended with. Wow. 받침이 없어요. So you're using 리을까요 as in 청소할까요? Oh my goodness, the room is so dirty. Shall we clean now? 청소할까요? Shall we clean? 희진, that's a good question. Is it a formal form? This is polite enough. So I use it to someone who is older than me too. 청소할까요? So yes, you can use it in a formal situation. Okay. Jeremiah, thank you for asking me a good question. Okay, very good. Awesome. I'm so proud of you. So I already answered a lot of questions today, but if you have any question, please let me know. 질문 있어요? 질문 means question, by the way. 있어요 means do you have. So do you have any questions? So please let me know. Okay. And I know you are enthusiastic Korean learners, so here are some homework for you. So first phrase that we have is 햄버거를 만들다. It means to make a hamburger. I'm hungry. 배고파요. And can you conjugate with this with 리을까요? Next phrase is 그림을 그리다, meaning to draw. By the way, 그림 is drawing. 을 object marking particle. 를 is object marking particle too, right? 그리다 means to draw. So It literally means to draw a drawing. In English, it doesn't make sense, but in Korean, this is how we say it. So you draw something is 그림을 그리다. And 한국어를 공부하다. To study Korean. To study Korean. 한국어, Korean language, object marking particle를 공부하다. To study. So please practice conjugation with these phrases. 짜자자잔. Conjugated with 를까요? And if you are done, please leave a comment on YouTube and Facebook. Comment. Yeah, actually, I'm checking all the comments every week. So leave a comment. If you personally want me to check, so this is my Instagram. By the way, I don't use Twitter or Facebook. So if you want me to check your homework personally, this is my Instagram. So please tag me. If you don't tag me, I can never see your post or story. A lot of my students tag me on their stories so I can correct and repost on my Instagram. So if you tag me, I'll correct you. Okay, so yes, as I mentioned, if you want to learn more Korean, check out the link in the description. By the way, from the link in the description, you can download this Hangul worksheet. Hangul is so easy to learn, so check it out. Or if you want to download our lesson note with more explanation, more examples, go to koreanclass101.com/live. There you can download the lesson note of all my lessons. I did lots of lessons, and so you will have like hundreds of lesson notes and learning materials for free. Okay, Sumi, I'll watch this video later, man. Yes, please watch this video again because it's very important. And next week I'll be back, of course. And okay. December 22nd, I'll be back with new lessons. So big numbers, how to read big Korean numbers. Do you know why big numbers are important in Korean? Because we use a lot, especially when you talk about money. For example, $1. $1 in Korean is about, well, the exchange rate always changes. So usually I try to think $1 is 1,000 won. Actually, more accurately, it depends on the month or year. And these days, dollars are so expensive, so it's between like 700 won to 900 won. But to make the calculation easy, I just try to think, $1 is 1,000 won. So we need to know big numbers. Just $1 in English is just one, right? But in Korean, that's 1,000 already. So you need to know a lot of big numbers in Korea. It's very important. Yeah, we use big numbers all the time. So let's talk about the big numbers, and it will be not difficult. In my opinion, it's easier than English. So please join it. It will be 1 p.m. in Korean time. The time will be different in your country. So check out your class. 감사합니다, everyone. So thank you very much, and I'll see you next week. 짠, Chimchim wants to say bye-bye too. Chimchim and me. So 감사합니다, 수미, 코아티, RZT. For money, is it Sino-Korean or native Korean numbers? It's Sino-Korean numbers, which is easier. 라지, 감사합니다. Oh, I'm so happy to hear that. You are so kind. Thank you. Emily, thank you. Shuristi, Foxy, Winnie, and Philistus, 정미, JD, 라이티티아, Nikhil, Trevon, and of course on Facebook too. Brenda, I'm about to leave and you just joined. Mark, Gylon, and Jeremiah. 감사합니다. 다음 주에 봐요. See you next week. Bye bye.